start with the awkward truth. Your marketing stack is stacked, just not aligned. HubSpot is running campaigns. Salesforce owns the pipeline. Google Analytics is tracking behavior. AWS is hosting your data lake. And somehow none of them are talking to each other like adults. So your team is stuck playing telephone between platforms, copying numbers into spreadsheets, exporting lists manually, and watching leads fall through the cracks because System A has no idea what System B just did. Welcome to 2026, where almost every brand runs on multiple clouds, but most still market like it's a single platform world. Today, we're digging into one of the most important shifts in modern marketing infrastructure, cross-cloud coordination. Because this isn't about buying more tools, it's about making your platforms work together so marketing stops feeling like three different teams wearing the same jersey. Welcome back to Growth Diggers, the podcast where we dig beneath surface-level tactics and talk about the systems and decisions that actually move growth forward. I'm Akanksha Das, Director of Marketing and Communications at Growth Natives. And joining me today is Gaurav Rajput, Senior Director MarTech, someone who works right at the intersection of marketing systems, cloud infrastructure, and scalable growth. Gaurav, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Akanksha. Happy to be here. And honestly, this topic couldn't be more relevant right now.
Absolutely. The phrase cross-cloud coordination sounds technical, maybe even intimidating. So let's ground it. What does it actually mean in simple terms?
At its core, it's very simple. Your marketing tools live in different clouds. Cross-cloud coordination is what makes them behave like one brain. Instead of disconnected systems doing their own thing, you create a shared operating layer where data, context, and decisions flow together. Think about a typical stack. HubSpot runs automation. Salesforce manages pipeline and relationships. Analytics tools track behavior. AWS or GCP stores customer data. Coordination means these platforms stop acting like isolated islands and start operating as one connected growth engine.
So it's not about replacing your stack or ripping anything out.
Exactly. It's about making what you already have actually work together. Cross-cloud coordination is the connective tissue.
Here's the big question then. If brands already have powerful platforms, why does multi-platform marketing still feel so broken?
Because most stacks were built to collect data, not coordinate decisions. Data moves beautifully from tool to tool, but decisions still depend on dashboards, meetings, and human intervention. By the time you act, the moment has already passed.
That's such a big distinction. Marketing today moves in minutes, but most systems still operate in days.
Exactly. Customers move fast. Decision cycles lag behind. And in modern growth, speed isn't a nice to have, it's survival.
Another issue I see all the time is that every platform optimizes for itself.
Right? Marketing tools optimize opens, ad platforms optimize clicks, CRM systems optimize pipeline stages, service tools optimize tickets, but no one is optimizing the full customer journey. So customers feel the seams. They see marketing emails that ignore recent support issues or ads that make no sense given where they are in the buying process.
It's like marketing is shouting buy now while support is still resolving a problem.
Exactly. Customers don't experience your org chart. They experience one brand.
Let's talk about journeys because this is where things really break.
Absolutely. A lead fills a form, switches devices, contacts support, then clicks a retargeting ad. Instead of one continuous story, your stack treats this like four different people. That's not personalization. That's chaos with a nice interface.
Most stacks don't create journeys, they create resets. And Gaurav, I think this is where a lot of teams get stuck, because on paper, everything looks connected. They'll say, we have HubSpot integrated with Salesforce, or our analytics feeds into dashboards. But the lived experience inside the team still feels fragmented. Why do you think that gap exists?
That's such a great point. And honestly, it comes down to the difference between integration and coordination. Integration is when systems exchange data. Coordination is when systems exchange context. Most companies have integrations that move information, but they don't have coordination that moves decisions. So you end up with situations where marketing knows someone is highly engaged, but sales doesn't act on it in time, or support knows a customer is frustrated, But marketing keeps pushing promotions like nothing happened.
So the problem isn't that the data isn't there, it's that the data isn't operational.
Exactly. Cross cloud coordination is really about turning data into action. It's about making sure that when a customer does something meaningful in one place, every other system responds appropriately. And that's the shift from marketing as a set of campaigns to marketing as a connected experience.
I love that framing because customers don't think in platforms. They don't care whether something happened in Salesforce or HubSpot, they just feel whether the brand understands them.
Right? And when coordination is missing, customers feel the disconnect immediately. But when it's present, the experience becomes seamless and growth becomes much easier to scale.
So, when cross cloud coordination is done right, what actually changes?
Everything starts with unified customer intelligence. Every platform sees the same customer in real time. Behavioral signals from analytics feed directly into automation. Service interactions update lead scores instantly. Campaign engagement flows back into a shared data layer for attribution. No manual exports, no data drift, no which dashboard is correct conversations.
Marketing, sales, and support finally operate from one truth. That alone is transformational.
The second big unlock is real time orchestration. Forget nightly syncs. With coordination, campaigns trigger the moment something meaningful happens. A lead hits a behavioral threshold and enters nurture instantly. A deal stage changes and messaging adapts automatically. A support ticket opens and promotional emails pause. That's orchestration, not basic automation.
Automation follows rules, orchestration responds to context. Attribution is another pain point. Why does coordination matter so much there?
Because attribution breaks when data lives in different clouds with different timestamps, user IDs, and definitions of conversion. Coordination unifies identity, aligns timelines, and connects ad spend, behavior, and CRM outcomes in one model. Instead of arguing about which channel deserves credit, you finally see what actually influenced revenue.
Let's talk about audiences.
Your best segments live everywhere. Purchase history in Salesforce, engagement data in HubSpot, behavioral patterns in analytics. With coordination, you build audiences once and activate them everywhere. No manual uploads, no version control nightmares, no misalignment between sales and marketing.
And governance, often overlooked but critical.
When clouds coordinate, governance becomes built in. Consent syncs across platforms. Retention rules apply universally. Deletion requests execute everywhere automatically. Compliance stops being a manual fire drill and becomes part of the system.
Can you share a real example that brings this to life?
Sure, imagine a B2B SaaS company scaling globally. Without coordination, a prospect visits pricing, downloads content, opens a support ticket, and still receives generic promotional emails. Attribution says direct traffic. Sales has no visibility. With coordination, that pricing visit increases lead score instantly. Sales is notified. Support activity pauses promotions. Ads and emails adapt to the buyer's stage. Leadership sees the full journey from first click to closed revenue. Same tools, completely different outcome.
Looking ahead, where is all this going?
The future is orchestration at scale. AI will make coordination faster and smarter. Journeys will adapt in real time. Attribution will become unified by default. The brands that win won't just execute faster, they'll learn faster.
So, as we wrap up, the biggest shift is clear. Cross cloud coordination isn't about adding more platforms, it's about bringing clarity to marketing that has become incredibly complex. Because growth today doesn't live in one tool, it lives across systems where data, automation, customer experience, and decision making have to move together.
And when your clouds actually coordinate, marketing stops being reactive and starts becoming intentional. Customers don't experience channels, they experience one journey.
That's why this matters so much in 2026. The brands that win won't just have the most advanced stack, they'll have the most connected one. And if this conversation got you thinking differently about how your platforms work together, that's a great place to start. Thank you for joining us on Growth Diggers. Until next time, keep digging deeper.